間違えた。はい、ホグワーツ、レガシー、レイブンクロー編第4回目、RTA ではい、始めていこうと思います。本をフィグ先生に見せるっていうことでね、はい、やっていきましょう。RTA でもないんですけど。
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox. It's
早くしてくんない？
inconceivable.
早くしてくんない？
Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
まだそこにいたけど、そんなの話し始めていいんですかっていう。
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section, as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing.
さあ、このページを見つける旅がね、ここからがね、レイブンクロー編っていうか、各寮に違ってね、ちょっとずつ違うんで。
I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful. It may take some time.
意外と急げば、
I wonder why it
今
was
日で終わるかもしれない
here,
です
below
ね。
Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
In the second, they were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
はい、もちろん。
I understand.
はい。
I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
はい、終了。はい。OK。はい、次は何をするかな。次は、あ、来た。
It's time to prove your dueling mettle and see if we've a new school champion. Meet me at the usual place for the final round of crossed wands. Also, the training dummy is...
はい、OK。この辺はね、もういいです。薬草学の授業に行きます。で、薬草学の授業に行くには、どこだったっけ？ここか。いけないんじゃないこれ。いけないんじゃないっていう言い方もおかしいけど。ねえ、これ。歩いていかなきゃいけないみたいな。
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
動けない。ん？ちょっと待って。あ、はいはいはい。なるほどね。はい。
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
あれが発生するから移動させてくれなかったんだ。もういい？もういい？もう良さそうね。もう良さそうね。情報ね。
Are you sure?
This cannot possibly be as difficult as...
よいしょ。あれ、ここじゃないな。薬草学のあれ？あった。
Is she growing Punja's onion again?
あ、かわいいガーリックテンテ。ガーリックテンテ。みんな大好きガーリックテンテ。
Good morning, Professor Garlick.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest friends in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacular than the bouncing bowl. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root. Accio.
Let's see
if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears.
2年生ぐらいでこれは習っておくべきなんじゃないの？ 5年生のせてないといけない。みんなあれかやっぱり
Now, everyone,
ハリーポッターのやっぱ映画見てやっぱりみんな好きになってるし、そのね、原作もそうだけどってなってくるとやっぱりやっぱここでやったことはやっぱり履修したいから5年生の努力を入れなきゃいけないんですよね。原作では2年生でやってるじゃん。1年生の時やったっけかな。2年生やったやろ確か。そう2年生秘密の部屋の時にマンドレイクのあれないから石をこう解除するやつをやってどうのこうのとかやから。
I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone.
かわいいな、ガーリック先生やっぱり。
Now for our next task, we'll be planting Dittany at our potting table.
邪魔だよ、マッチ置いて。
Yes, Professor?
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
耳がダメになる方。ちょっと初めてガーリック先生に反抗してみます。
I'll say, I nearly went deaf.
Oh yes, of course the cry of a mature mandragora can be fatal, so remember to keep those ears protected. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting Dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade.
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful. A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to have your own potting table here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
この間に他のね、イベントというか、あれをしましたよね。
Mifflin's fancy. Dittany's restorative properties make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion. as you all should know from Professor Sharp's class. Well done! Once it can be harvested, your Dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp tell you about that. Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora, the Chinese chomping cabbage. You'll find that some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get testy without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Be a dear and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse.
Yes,
It's
Professor.
just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany
プロフェッサー
you.
って、まあ、プ
Come
ロフェ
back
ッサー
and
って
see me
先
when
生
you're
って意味や
finished. Oh,
教授とか意
and
味なん
mind
です
your
けど、
fingers.
プロフェッショナルっ
They're
て
too
それのやっぱその熟練した人、プロの人っていう感じじゃないですか。でサーっていうのが尊敬語に当たるから、で成熟した人のこう
Hello.
先生
Saw
み
you
た
on
い
your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm
な感じな
Leander.
んでしょうね。
I'll be showing you the Chinese. Nice work in Defense
That's
Against the
also
Dark
good.
Arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian. And he's good. Thinks he's really good. But you outright. Here we are. Home of the Chinese. Go. Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it. And they'll do the rest. Look at that! They'll chomp on anything they can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did say
したよ。
Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that just have your back in a
こ
fight.
いつと喋んなきゃいけない
I'm
の
not
か。
saying you can't go
あ、
it
ずっと
alone.
無視してたな、家に。
Well, imagine that
Very
wasn't
well.
a dummy.
一人じゃ見てはいないけど人形じゃなかったらって想像してみる。役に立つかもね。ずっと想像してた。これかな。
Trust me, Leander. I was imagining it the entire time.
You were? I mean, of course. You're
君はやらな
not
きゃい
someone
け
to
ない
be
わけだ
trifled
ってよ
with.
くわかる。
I see that.
Oh my
Dogweed and
God,
Death
that's
Cap
so-
has
so
more of
those-
them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
ここまで引き戻されてしまった。ガーリック先生の元に戻る。待って、でも、ここから戻れる？あ、戻れるな。どうなってる？こうか。こっちか。
And with that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves, I shall end our lesson here.
I attended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite
指噛まれてなくなったら
green-fingered.
どうなるんだろう。
Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
植物が読むもの植物そこまで興味は
Thank
ちょ
you,
っと反抗的で
Professor.
す。
But looking after plants isn't all that thrilling to me.
I think you'll come to see that the fruit is well worth
で
the
も
labor.
実際私はこっちなんですよ
As we
ね。
herbologists like to say, tend to your plants and they'll tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
ガーリック先生かわいいわほんまに。マジかわいいわガーリック先生。さてと次やろうか。次はこれさ重要かな。これ多分やらなきゃいけないね課題は。回避ロイで敵の攻撃を避ける10回敵にインセンディオを使用する。まあこれやればいいか別に。行きましょう。 あ、ダメだ、飛べないわ、そういえば。飛べないんだった、飛べないんだった。正門のところに煙突飛行があるから、ここ飛んで、
レベリオン。
それと取っといて、これもうここないわ、上だわ、もういいわ、じゃあいいわ。そこ飛んでるっけ？そこは飛んでないな。で走っていかなきゃいけない。だるい、早くほうきが欲しい。だるいとか言うな。これ接続しておいて、飛んでるっけ？まだ飛んでないな。まあ出るのにちょっと時間かかるんだな。ここ飛んでおいて、動物学の教室で、普通はね、ここでね、わー、外に行ける、楽しいホグワーツの外探検できるってね、ワクワクするところなんですけどね、もう何週もやってるから、もう走らなきゃいけない、だるいみたいな。大きいがしてくれってなっちゃうっていう。上か。道間違えた。道間違えた。道間違えたよ。道を間違えた。よっ。走れ。遠い。遠い。早くほうきが欲しい。早くほうきが欲しい。あれ、ここの煙突飛行がなんで解除されてんの？おかしくね？あ、ここから行けるように解除してくれてたの、私が気づかんで走ってきちゃったんだ。はあ。はあ、だるいとか言うな。スタミナがないのがね、唯一のあれですよね、いいですよね、これ。走りまくっても。スタミナっていう概念がないから。もういいわ。お腹入らなきゃだからもういいわ。
I should investigate.
ダッシュダッシュ。なんでこんなところで喋るのを徹底してるんだよっていうね。
It is good to see you.
Hello, Natty. How are you? I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade.
I am well, but I have been worried about you, my friend.
そう、追われてるはずなのに、特になんか、端々で襲われるとかないんだよね、全然。
We did not speak about it at the time, but I am hoping now you might tell me why they were looking for you.
学校に乗り込むほどばっかではない。ちょっとだから。わからない。
I've never met Rookwood or Harlow. Perhaps they mistook me for another student.
A bit odd. The two of them pursuing a Hogwarts student so intently. But whatever the reason, you were clearly in danger. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us, to all of us. Which is why I wanted to speak to you. I realized something that day in Hogsmeade. You displayed such courage fighting that troll. And Serona wasn't intimidated one bit by Rookwood and Harlow. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matabili Land. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
そういう点かもしれない。
Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well,
all the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow was planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit. Try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right.
But how? I am going to watch and listen and find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
同じ考えなわけじゃないからさ。特に変わった環境で育った人とかっていうと人と同じ思考になりにくいからそれで常に反抗的だからこの人嫌な感じって言われるとそれもそれでねっていう気はしなくもないです。
What's going on here?
魔法薬学の授業。はいはいはいはい。あ、終わった。あー、見知らない人を助ける。これやらなきゃいけないのか、これ。あれやんなきゃいけないんだな。シーベだな、これ。
They must have come this way. Think!
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student?
お前たち話などない。
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
There you are.
火力が高いはずだから。
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
ザコ。
I'm not going anywhere with you.
You'll take this student over my dead body!
お前たちに何ができるかな。
You've made a grave mistake.
何があと何がある。もう人を戻るように何がある。
I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills.
多少だな。
Care to tell
トロ
me
リ
why
ーって
two
言うぐらいだ。
Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment.
クリアが来てる。
Pre-warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You're a researcher.
Nora Treadwell at your service. Historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
ちょいちょい録画停止っていうかあれはそれはすごいマリア架空の人物だと。
I thought that Merlin and the tales about King Arthur's court were mere myth.
Mere myth? You're lucky Sir Cadogan didn't hear you. Chatters on endlessly about his connection to Merlin from his portrait at Hogwarts. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
I'm not sure old vine-covered pillars are worth studying.
Well, I think anything concerning Merlin is worth pursuing, and I shall have you know. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work. Mallowsweet, versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if
Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols?
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis. I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
そんなクソみたいな選択肢ばっかりではないんですけど。
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swell, and we'll see what happens.
Heck.
My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared.
Heck.
What should I do now?
This is uncharted.
Flames make the pyres sink.
I am curious about these pyres.
はい。できました。
Curious. The pyres are back where they started.
え、全部やったじゃん、私ちゃんと。あれかい。話し始める前にやったかダメなのか。ちゃんと言われてからやらないとダメなのか。いいだろ、別に。できたんだから。そう。やることが早すぎて却下になるっていう。まだダメですし。喋ってる途中でしょ。話聞いてからやるよっていう。今間に合ってましたかね、確実には。
I take it we can call that a success.
We can indeed.
早すぎてダメっていう。
I now have even more questions.
RTA こういうのなんですよね、きっとやってる人は。でもこれ RTA やる人いないと思うけどな、こんな RTA。
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require Mallowsweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you.
そのためにアイテムを私取らないと決めてるんです、基本的に。
And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
はい、終わりました。終わったので、次は、はい。これね、魔法、もう別に通常次回とか、組み合わせ呪文とかやる必要は特にないんで、魔法学の授業に戻りますので、ホグワーツの地図。温室。10分絶対経ってるんで回収して。あれ違うか。待ってね、ちゃんと見て。魔法学って言った？魔法薬学だから間違えたわ、私これ。いらんことしてもうた。魔法薬学だ。薬って書いてるから勘違いしちゃった私。こっちです。 待って。間違えた。レパルはいらない。氷際は回収する。
Someone from the ministry guarding the school after the incident in Hogsmeade.
Professor Black would never allow.
よいしょ。OK。はい。じゃあ授業始めます。シャープ先生です。どうも。
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As fifth years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan-Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wigan-Weld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Points for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a Wigan-Weld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin. Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients. Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous. I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippins, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain, and will require you to be a bit more resourceful. Come and see me when you've finished brewing, and we'll see if it was skill or luck the first time round.
My parents considered keeping me home from school this year after the rumors of a goblin rebellion.
Did I hear Professor Sharp say that you have permission to go into his office?
Yes, but why does that matter to you?
Brilliant! And it matters because you can be a part of something truly creative. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. But she can't be everywhere. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular. I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
I suspect that's where I come in.
You're as clever as I'd hoped. I simply need a single Whooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's office with his permission, perhaps you could grab it for me.
I don't know, Gareth. I don't want to get on Sharp's bad side.
You won't. Whooper feathers aren't that valuable. Sharp won't even miss it.
I've enough to worry about collecting the ingredients he wants me to get. I'm afraid I can't help you.
I understand. I'll sort something else out.
Keep your potion stations organized and...
さあ取ってくるか。さあこれで私が取ったからもうお前はこれを回収できないはずだ。
Should you chop the Dittany or crush it? The wrong answer could result in the unfortunate loss of your eyebrows.
右ラッシャーを調合する。30秒です。ね、切るまでに。30秒で何ができる？他のとこ行くほどの時間ではないんですよね、30秒だったら。OK。
And now we add the Mallow Suite, and that's odd. What's happening? Wait.
Professor Sharp must have learned a lot during his time as a... Get it! Get it!
Oh! I Wiggenweld potion's utter rubbish.
Oh. What happened?
Well done, Gareth.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again.
I was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's question about the Wiggenweld potion.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot coming from a fellow Ravenclaw. And I've never seen anyone brew such a flawless Wiggenweld potion on their first try. Well done.
Professor Sharp didn't seem as impressed as you are.
Don't take it personally. Professor Sharp wouldn't be impressed by a troll reciting the tales of Beetle the Bard backwards. And in gobbledygook. A fascinating language, by the way. Neither here nor there, really, but I am a self-taught speaker. Merlin's beard, good conversation is the enemy of free time. I must return my book, Gateway to the Far Stars, before my next class. Speaking of stars, we'll be in astronomy together. You'll love it. Professor Shaw is firm, but quite clever. See you soon, no doubt.
シャンプ先生の元に戻る。私が取ってこなくても結局やらかしたんだな、違う方法で。
I brewed an Edorus potion as you asked, Professor.
Glad you managed to stay on task. Not every class is so eventful. I saw Mr. Weasley speaking with you earlier. He can be quite persuasive. Glad you managed to resist. You've done well today. I confess I was skeptical, given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. Pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. And you can keep that Fwooper feather. This time. That'll be all. I think each of us has had enough excitement for one day. Class is dismissed.
取ったのはバレてるというバレてるということも先生は知ってるっていう流れだったね。バレてるってことも知ってるって言い方おかしいけど、次何やんなきゃいけない？新しいメインストーリーの課題は来た。
Understand you're quite the enterprising young Ravenclaw. Professor Fig tells me you found a long-lost book for him. I'd like to talk to you about it.
これはあれですね、ホグズミードでオリバンダー老人にはこれはもうレイブンクロー生でしかない多分ミッションですね。ホグズミードの職人、正職人オリバーダンさんから何か話があるらしい。会いに行ってみよう。 別にいいの。あ、飛べるじゃん、ここ。この近く行ってないように。なんか鼻から解放してくれてるところが何か所かあるっぽいですね。
Good of you to come. My friend, Professor Fig, speaks highly of you and your resourcefulness. He was vague as to details, but mentioned your having tracked down a difficult-to-find book. I wondered if you'd be willing to do a little detective work on my behalf.
面白そう。できるかどうか自信がない。私にどんな得が
I suppose I could. But why should I spend my time on a glorified errand?
It is much more than a glorified errand, to be sure. I dare say you'll find my proposal intriguing. Please, hear me out. You see, about a century ago, an heirloom applewood wand with a fairy wing core went missing from this very shop. My great-aunt suspected a student named Richard Jackdaw. He'd been serving as an assistant here and suddenly vanished.
Richard Jackdaw?
Like the bird. In fact, he was known to frequent the Hogwarts Owlery. We searched there, of course, but found no wand. We did find a series of statues similar to Jackdaw's. I'm certain they're a clue, but I cannot figure out where they lead. Jackdaw was last heard tittering about some pages with a map he'd stolen from Peeves. As you can imagine, the poltergeist was less than helpful.
ここはちょっと全部聞きますね。初めてのやつなんで。
Surely you could continue searching the Owlery.
Oh, one would think. However, the headmaster does not take kindly to an old wand-maker loitering about the place. Can't say I blame him. Also, I have perhaps been looking for too long. I feel a fresh set of eyes, and a bright mind like yours is sure to solve this riddle.
斬新な視点と聡明な頭脳っていうのがこうレイブンクローの特徴やから、こうレイブンクロー戦にはこういう感じってことね。
Is there anything special about the wand?
Oh, yes. It's terribly special. But not in the way you might think. It won't grant special powers to the caster, no. Nothing like that. But it will ease the hearts and minds of the Ollivanders to know of its return. And that power is immeasurable.
どういうことな？盗まれた理由は？
Why would the thief have taken the wand?
I must admit I have no idea. From what I can gather, he fancied himself an adventurer of sorts. Always looking for trouble. In fact, after he went missing, rumor had it his ghost was seen in Hogsmeade. Never heard much about him after that, but it seems as if his adventurous spirit may have got the better of him. Perhaps he thought that the wand had some special power simply because of its esteemed lineage. Astonishing how misunderstood the art of wand-making is.
I'll have a look for you. You've certainly given me plenty to go on.
Ah, you've brought hope to this old wand-maker's heart. Professor Fig was right. You are a remarkable student.
なるほど。オリバンダーの家宝。クエスト開始。袋小屋を調べる。オリバンダーの家宝、オリバンダー老人が言うには、リチャード・ジャック・ドーの失踪に関する手がかりはホグワーツの袋小屋にあるそうだ。袋小屋は城の南の塔の中にある。ということで、行きましょう。まあいいや。出たところかな、これ。一元地に言ってんの。そうだな。OK、オリバンダーの人いて。よし、じゃあ行きましょう。ホグワーツの地図。袋小屋に行くには、動物学校のところに飛ぶ。で、OK。おかしいと思ったんですよね。袋小屋がさ、なんかその行けっていうミッションもなくて、ただただここにあるっていうのが、ワールドマップ探索してれば、あ、このとこにあるんだって言って、行く人多いとは思うんですけど、 結構ね重要な場所っぽいのに行けっていうミッションが何もなかったから、なんか違和感は感じてたんですよずっと。そしたらレイブンクロー編で行くことになる場所だったんですね。なんか豪華な机の前に強制指輪がなかったからここに行くずっと気にはなってたんですよ。なんかあってもいいのになみたいな。こういうのがやっぱ面白いですよね。
Statues Mr. Ollivander mentioned must be upstairs amongst the owls.
グレーのナイトキャップ。頭。防御力は別に上がんなくてもいいっちゃいいんですけどね。何も被らないで。変なものいらない。服装もなんかある？いや、普通のあれか。服装変えれるっけ？なんかこっちの方がかっこいいな。韓国製の服。行こうか。黒小屋。よいしょよいしょよいしょ。上まで上がって。
Don't mind me, owls. I'm here to help a friend. Now, where are those statues?
さてどこかなって。
I recognize those handles. The summoning charm should do the trick.
へえ。ここで使えという。
Birds aren't afraid of heights. Perhaps I should look a bit higher. Revelio.
よし。こう握手をするのもいいけど。これでこれ。
No statues here.
上に上がった時にあんなセリフが出るっていうことは。
Oh, I'll take that, thank you. Nothing.
ここ全部にあるはずなんですよ。ここ片っ端からこれ開けなきゃいけないっていう。
Oh, this will do nicely. Revelio ought to make quick work of this.
レベルを使ってもさ。
I'd best keep looking.
レベルを使ってもさ、別にさ。
Here's a welcome surprise.
でしょ、別に。宝物がどうこうってわけじゃないから。片っ端からやらなきゃいけないのは片っ端からやらないんじゃいけないんじゃないの？
I'd best keep looking.
そうでもないか？
No statues here.
待って。なんか今あったな。
Revelio.
これだな。浮遊するろうそくが描かれた地図。
A map. It doesn't appear to be connected to the missing pages. Best hang on to it for now.
でもまだフクロウ小屋を調べるにはなってるから。全部外した？ここは全部外したね。上は。ジャック・ドーの像。
Revelio. Nothing. Here. Oh, I'll take that, thank you. Revelio. Here.
金はもらっておこう。これ酔いそうだなこれ。あんまりうまく言うと。
I'd best keep looking. Oh, this will do nicely. No statues here.
まあ全部引っ張ったかなこれで。OK。はい。で、これを調べる。
Empty perches. Could be the right size for jackdaws. Or statues of jackdaws.
オリバンダーさんが言っていた通り、フクロウ小屋に鳥の彫刻があった。全部見つけたまで家に戻してあげよ
う。What's happening?
はい。先に全部見つけるやつっていう。おなんだ上に行ったけど、もうそれは一番上には行けないんだ。うわ、結構生々しいんだな、首のところ。
Could it be? Has someone solved my puzzle after all these years? Well done indeed. Good news. If you've got something to hide, you found the perfect spot. Richard Jackdaw, at your service.
The Richard Jackdaw. So, Mr. Ollivander was right. He wants his family wand back.
Goodness. I'd forgotten about that wand. I assure you I don't have it on me. I'm almost certain I dropped it the moment I was beheaded in that cave. Oh, it was sheer folly to follow that map.
What map?
Ridiculous, really. Found it on some yellowed old pages Peeves had pilfered. Thought I could impress a girl. But that's a story for another day.
So, you stole a wand and then followed a map on some pages that you took from Peeves and followed that map to your doom.
Odd to hear it all reduced to such absurdity, but yes. Why do you care about some old wand?
I don't really. Ollivander does. It's the pages I'm after. Might they be with the wand in the cave?
Indeed. Say, here's an idea. Why don't you meet me at the edge of the Forbidden Forest? I'd be happy to show you where to find them.
I think I can guess how you died. But who did it to you?
I was having a look about when I suddenly sensed a refreshing breeze. After which I felt, well, lightheaded. That's all I remember. Hence, if you do visit the cave, be prepared. I can't tell you what for specifically, but you seem a perceptive sort. Beware a light breeze.
これはね、初めてですよね。
Why would you steal Mr. Ollivander's family wand?
The family were always going on about how special it was, so I took it. Who could resist? Sadly, it wasn't special enough to save my neck. I fully intended to return it once I learned it was only special for sentimental reasons, but as you can see, I never got the chance.
軽くちょっとなんか最悪、まあそこまで思い出の品っていうわけじゃな知らんかったからっていう、それをしたら返すつもりだったって言ってるから、まあそんなに苦情はないんですけど。
How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist?
I didn't steal the pages from his ghostly form. I merely found them in his wake of destruction. He's got a penchant for wrecking things. Books, bottles, suits of armor, whatever's likely to cause the most chaos. I doubt he even noticed they were gone.
If that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you there.
If you don't mind the sight of well, my decapitated skeleton, the wand and the pages are yours for the taking.
この後杖を返すイベントが発生するから一応見ようか、ちゃんと。はい。リマンドの家宝ね。一応クエスト完了。完了でも返すのはいかなあかんから、まだ完了じゃないと思いますね、正式に。ね、ここね、禁じられた森行きましょうか。
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
はい、リチャード・ジャック・ドーのゴーストの後について、禁じられた森に入る前に武器、解錠術を習得する必要がある。なんか他にやらなあかんことあるから、お前まだそっち行ったらあかんでって言われましたね。これやね。違う。エクスペリアムズがいるから、先にヘキャット先生の課題を終わらせろっていう感じなんで、このね、課題の回避ローで敵の攻撃を避けると、インセンディオ、まあ、追従次回行くか。こうやれば野球の話なんで、ちょっとそれやってから、行こうと思います。一旦追従次回の方に行って、そこからまた配信入れ直しましょうか。もうそろそろいいお時間なんで。ということで、ご視聴ありがとうございます。どうしようかな。もうこれ、追従次回もういい？飛ばす？配信。いらないもんな。いるかっていう感じなんですよね。課題のところからスタートしましょう。ここの課題クリアするのは私やってしまいます。それから配信入れましょう。ということで、ご視聴ありがとうございました。また次の回でお会いしましょう。さようなら。